XFL co-owner The Rock met with MLSE's Larry Tanenbaum in Toronto doing a Black Adam tour. So The Rock is currently on this whirlwind tour promoting the new Black Adam movie coming to theaters October 20th. According to his business partner and XFL Chairwoman Dany Garcia, this project has been 6 years in the making. I've heard The Rock say that it's been 15 years in the making. So Dwyane Johnson started a tour in Mexico that made his way into the U.S. this past week with appearances in New York. And then he stopped in Toronto during the Maple Leafs game, and we saw how that all went down.
Did he catch the flight? Is he here? Is he in the building? Dwyane Johnson is in the building! And he's a Leaf fan, baby! What's up, Toronto?
So, Canadian radio host Rod Peterson reports that The Rock was meeting with MLSE chairman Larry Tanenbaum while in Toronto. Now, with Johnson's busy movie promotion schedule, it was a bit eyebrow-raising, no pun intended, that he would make time to meet with Tanenbaum. He said, quote, "Two sources tell me The Rock is meeting with MLSE chairman Larry Tanenbaum while in Toronto." Interesting. So Tanenbaum, who is this guy? He's a longtime chairman of the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, MLSE, which owns the NHL's Toronto Maple Leafs, which is where The Rock was, the NBA's Toronto Raptors, the Toronto FC of the Major League Soccer. They also own the CFL's Toronto Argonauts. We all know about the XFL and CFL talks, which ended in July of 2021. Tanenbaum was rumored to be very high on the XFL-CFL partnership merger talks. In June, Tanenbaum talked about the CFL in an interview with the Globe and Mail. He said, quote, "The community-owned teams seem to be satisfied with what's happening in the CFL, so we're working to see how the Argos fit into that scenario. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the structure of the league," close quote. This turned some heads back over the summer. TSN football insider Dave Naylor talked about the interview. He said that Larry Tanenbaum's comments were aimed more at differing opinions about XFL option and joining forces with The Rock and 4 Downs North American football. Tanenbaum sees it one way, the leagues went in another direction. So this is Dave Naylor posting this. And then The Rock chimed in on Twitter saying, "Love the grammar citations," which we received many over the years. Quote, "Larry was a great partner and advocate who I found to be gutsy visionary, who saw an amazing opportunity to grow the game of football that we all love in a very exciting and electrifying way for the fans," close quote. This is The Rock chiming in on Larry Tanenbaum stuff and the CFL stuff. That also turned heads. Now, Dwyane Johnson's appearance at the MLSE-owned Maple Leafs could be much ado about nothing, just a simple movie promotion and meeting with an old friend before heading off to London for the next part of his movie promotional tour. We know a major difference between the XFL 2.0 era and the 3.0 era is the relationships. The relationship between the XFL front office and NFL helped guide the XFL-NFL partnership. Dany Garcia's connection, of course, with the TV and movie business, Jerry Cardinelli's relationship with the NFL and other pro sports leagues, you get the drift. So do Tanenbaum and Johnson have something cooking? We'll have to wait and see down the road. The XFL has currently announced a partnership with the IFL, but has yet to release its team names and logos. The Argos, of course, they are in the CFL playoff hunt, and Tanenbaum was recently unanimously reelected as the chairman of the NBA Board of Governors. And we never know. These friendships might not mean anything now, but they could later down the years. My take on all this is clearly this is an interesting thing because not only is Larry Tanenbaum got a lot of money, remember, a lot of people are like, oh, well, does this mean that the Toronto Argonauts are going to jump to the XFL? Not at all. I still don't. That would shock me, but nothing would surprise me if that were to ever happen. The other piece of the puzzle is that MLSE has money, and the XFL is looking for people with money to invest in the XFL. So maybe Larry's not as interested in doing anything with the Argos, but maybe he's and MLSE is interested in doing something with the XFL, and let's sell the Argos to whoever they want, and then maybe down the road do something with the XFL. So who knows what this was all about? It could just be maybe Larry Tanenbaum wants to have a part in the Rock's on Young Rock, for example, and he wants to get into acting. We don't know. But anytime somebody like The Rock meets with somebody, two people that were involved in those very long, very interesting CFL, XFL talks, when they meet together and talk in person, especially with The Rock's schedule, jumping from one promotional thing to the next, that they would make time for each other, whether it was an hour, 30 minutes. I mean, clearly they could talk on the phone. To me, that's an interesting thing just to kind of keep in the side pocket, that if down the road something happens between the MLSE and the XFL, we kind of know where we're headed. So just something to keep out there for the XFL super fans to just be in the loop.